Hi, I'm Nadwa from Paperflow Designs. Tonight I wanted to teach three resources that I use for my SVG files. Now I'm hoping that the live feed is working, that I can be heard and be seen. I'm trying to check it. I guess I will just have to go with it and trust that everything is working properly. I did a few tests and I'm hoping they worked out. Let's see. So I'm Nottawa from Paperflow Designs, and I've been making SVG files for about between 2 to 3 years now. I sell them in my Etsy shop. I've had more than 4,000 sales, and now I want to help other crafters and other designers, artists learn how to make SVG files. I started just with my little graphic tablet, the same one that I'm using now. Um, practice a lot and found a few tips and tricks that I like to use. And I thought maybe I'd try to share them with other people and see if they find them helpful too. So let me start by showing you the things I like. I like to use little shortcuts if I can find them, like ways to find different colors, ways to find different fonts. Um, hey, Brandy. Oh, of course, I didn't charge. Give me 1 second, and I'm just going to plug this in before it all goes off on me. I should have charged beforehand. Give me 1 second. Thought I had thought of everything. Apparently, everything except charging. Okay, all charged. Well, charging now. All right. So where was I? I was talking about how I make SVG files and the shortcuts that I like to use to make things quicker. Because sometimes, like especially in the beginning when you're first starting out, it takes you a long time because you don't know what you're doing. And so if you can find shortcuts that'll help you out, it's better. So one thing that I like to use is a color palette from Canva. Canva is like an online graphics. Oh, I got everything popping up. An online graphics design site. But so you can make graphics in Canva, but you can also use it for other things. And I like to use it to pull out the colors that I can use in my SVG file. So you can upload any picture that you like. You can use the example photos that they have here. I'm not going to upload one because it's just going to take up too much space and it's going to take too long since I'm live. So in here, it pulls out the colors from this picture and it gives you, down here, you can see it gives you the codes. So if I go to Inkscape, and let's say I draw a square. So I'll click on the tools bar menu where it says create rectangles and squares. I'll click and drag that and it'll come out blue, which is like the default color. I could use the colors down here in the menu bar, or let's say I don't want to go through and scroll through all these colors, but I want to find like a particular color that I want to use. Because a lot of times you'll have customers, that's the siren, saying, oh, can you make it like I don't know, like a pearl blue or like a teal color? And you're like, okay, that could be varied. Like a lot of people have different ideas of like what a teal blue, like you might have like a teal blue in your head, could be a dark teal blue. Somebody else, has a lighter color in mind. But if you have the code, it'll save you so much time. You can go and put that exactly on your design. So this is how I do it with the Canva palette. I'll go back to the Canva palette So let's say they wanted like a dark olive green. So either I can go and try to mix and match and find an olive green. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't like it. But if I find one and I say, okay, this is the color olive green that I want to use, I can just copy it straight from Canva palette. Isn't that cool? You see, you just click it and it copies the color. It copies actually the code color that's right down here. I'll go back into Inkscape and my square is selected, so it's blue. And right here where you have the color code, you can just go in there and then click and paste. And then it gives you that dark olive green color. So if the person says, okay, I want dark olive green, there's an easy way to get dark olive green for them. So let me show you. All right, let me go back here. Hi, Stephanie. I'm sorry there are like these many screens because this is the first time I'm trying to do a shared screen with, live. Excuse the multiple screens. So I'm trying to work it out. Stephanie, I just talked about how I use color palette in Canva to find the colors that I need. Because sometimes like you have clients that say, okay, I want an SVG, but I want a specific color. So instead of going back and forth with color choices and the person says, that's too dark, that's too light, you can use the hex code and you can get that. Let's say they send you a picture of a prom dress and they say, oh, I want this text of my SVG to match the color of my prom dress. You can go to color palette, which is canva.com color/color palette. You can upload the picture. This is just an example picture from the website, and it'll pull up all of the colors in that picture for you, and you can just click and copy the color that you want. You can go back to Inkscape, click and paste the color on here, and so this is what it looked like before. And when I copied and pasted it right here, where it says RGBA, it'll give you that olive green color or whatever color it is that that person wanted that you found in that picture. So that is my first resource that I love to use. It's a Canva color palette. Let me go back and show you another resource. A lot of times people ask for custom fonts, and I don't do a lot of custom work anymore just because I don't really have the time. Like I'm like you guys, I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, I have like stuff going on just like you. So I don't do a lot of custom work. I try to steer people on the way of shortcuts. I love my shortcuts. Another thing that I like to use is for custom fonts, not custom fonts, but just for fonts that you can use and upload. Google has fonts. So you can go to fonts.google.com and find pretty much, I don't know how many they have, but they have so many. They have lots. You can search it by name. I think you can search by, what is it? They've got categories by language, by font properties. You can change the sizes. There's so much stuff you can do. Basically, you can just go in there, find one you like. Like, let's say you like this one called, what is it? Freedoka 1. If you click on the plus, I'm a little scared to click on things because I don't want anything to like shut down, but if you click on it, yeah, it'll add it to the family here and you can download it. You can download that font and it'll give you like a zip file that you can upload to Inkscape. So I'm not going to download it, like I said, as I don't want anything to crash, but just to show you like a few of the things on here. And I think it also gives you, it gives you font pairings. That's what I like about Google Fonts. So if you find like a font and you want to, let me say, have like 1 or 2 different fonts, but you don't really know, like you're not really experienced, you're not a graphic designer, you don't know what fonts go with other fonts, Google Fonts will, they'll show you like fonts that are, like this is what most popular, trending, and it'll show you font matches as well. So you can download 2 fonts that go together and not have to like worry about testing out a million different things. So once you upload that into Inkscape, let me just show you one. I already have some in there. So if I wanted to type out a word, I'll go on the menu and I'll click on Create and Edit Text Objects, which is just a little A button here on the left side. I'm assuming that can still be heard and seen because, let me check. This doesn't really tell you. I'm trying to check it on my phone to make sure that it's live, but that's not going to work. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that the sound is still working and the video is still working. So back to the fonts. So the fonts that you uploaded, like I said, you just download the zip file from Google Fonts. You upload the zip file into Inkscape, and then you'll go to the text menu, the Create and Edit Text Objects. Click on that, which I just did, and I will click and drag anywhere here and type out a word, any word. So it just comes out in the default, but I can change that. Let me just move my face. Okay. I'll go to text and font. And where are you, text and font? There you are. So it opens up the text and font menu, and I can see all the different fonts that I've had. Some of these, it basically has all the fonts that you already have in whatever program you're using. I use PC, so it's all the programs that are already in Word and the fonts that you upload. So some of these, like this one I uploaded, I think, yeah, this one I got from, this one called Creepster from Google Fonts. So I can change the size. If I come over here to font size, it's at 30. Let's say if I make it 64. And then I click on apply. And there, and it changed it. That looks a little weird calling the flower creepy, but it's like Little Shop of Horrors. I have the word flower now in that font, that Creepster font. I can change the color. There's another shortcut that I wanted to show you. To change the colors, you can use the color menu here on the bottom. Move my face again. So if you scroll on the bottom, you see this color menu. There's lots and lots of colors. But let's say you don't want to take your time and go and scroll through all of those colors. You can import a picture. So you can either do it the first way I showed you, use Canva color palette and copy the hex code of the color you want to use, or you can import a picture or anything by clicking File, go to Import, and then it'll open up where you have your file saved up and import a picture. I've already done that. So here on the right, yeah, I have this picture I made. So if I want to drag, not drag, but if I want to pick a color from a picture, like I said, once again, if someone sent you a picture and says, oh, I want this, custom, this specific pink color or this gold color, you can import that picture into Inkscape, and you will go and click on the text that you just made. You'll click on D for dropper. That's what it is on a PC. I don't know what it is on a Mac because I don't use Mac, but on a PC, it's the letter D, and you see it change into a dropper. And I can go and click and pick on the color that I want to use. So that's 2 ways to choose the colors that you want to use in Inkscape. And that's pretty easy. Like I said, you can use a color menu. That's fine. But maybe the color menu doesn't have exactly what you need. This is another way that you can pick a custom color for yourself. It does a lot more, but I just want to keep it simple and show you those ways to start with. Let's see. If I go back and drop down. Come on, I'm on the way. So that's my two resources for you is the color palette from Canva. I'll show you that again. And that's free to use. You don't need a Canva account or anything like that. You can use it on a free Canva account. It's a great way to choose all your colors. The fonts from Google Fonts, also free to use. Just check if you're going to use it for, let's say, like customer work or client work, any commercial work for businesses, you might want to check the licenses. I'm pretty sure most of them are free for personal and commercial use, but don't quote me on that. All right, I'm just going to click right back. Oh, I'm good. Okay. Oh, you guys are here. All right, let me put this back up because I know this multiple screen thing is crazy. And I'll move my face around. Stephanie, yes, Canva is a free program. They'll ask you to open an account, but it's a free account just so that you can log in. They have a paid program too, but honestly, I think I tried it during the trial period, but I didn't really see anything that I benefited from it. So I just went back to the free program. I know if you have the paid program with Canva, one of the things that you can do is get like a transparent background on your designs, but I do that in Inkscape, so I didn't need that to do that in Canva. But yeah, you can stay on a free account for now. It's free. It's been that way. I've been using it for years, the free version with no problem. The only issue, once again, is like with the commercial and the personal use. I think if you make a design in Canva and you want to sell it, I'm not really sure what the licenses are on that. I'm sure they have like pages and pages on their website to explain that. But to use it, like to make up like mock-ups and things like that, and to use the color palette, that's free. So there's no charge. Let me see who else is on here. There is, let's say hi to Toya, say hi to Mosheri, Joanna. All right. I don't know if, what else is, I'm going to show you the resource, another resource. So that's two resources. The third one that I like to use is, it comes from Unsplash. Unsplash is a website that has photos from like, there's like amateur photographers and also I think professional photographers. They load their pictures on there and you can use those pictures. And I believe most of them you can use them for personal and commercial use. Like, I don't know if you can like take the picture and sell it itself, but like I use them for mock-ups sometimes because I don't use Photoshop and I don't feel like going through all of the steps to like use a Photoshop mock-up. So sometimes I just take a picture from Unsplash. Let me minimize my face. And I'll use that as a mock-up. So let me type in like mug, and that should give me all of these pictures. Once again, this is free to use, so you can, I think you can give credit to the photographer if you want to. You're not obligated to, and you can use the photos. Let's say you have like an Etsy shop and you want to put like your SVGs on an image of a person, like on a mug, on a shirt. You can get these pictures from Unsplash and use them for that. So you can see they have tons and tons of different pictures that you can use. You can download the picture and import it into Inkscape and then put your SVG on it. And that's what I usually do. It's I don't know if I already said it's free to use. Yeah, I said that. You just have to open an account, just like with Canva. You open an account, a free account, just so that you can like have a password and maybe save pictures for yourself if you want to do that. So that's just showing you like, you know, some of the pictures. So like something like this would be this one. would be nice to use, let's say if you want to make a mock-up. So those are my 3 resources. Again, like I said, if you like to use other people's pictures, the problem with trying to use pictures that, let's say you find a picture just off of Google, like on a Google search, you don't want to do that because that's probably somebody else's picture and you don't want to get in trouble. So if you use a stock photo site like Unsplash, you know that you're safe. You know you can use those pictures without having any copyright issues. They have, just to show you, they've got so many different collections. From patterns and textures. This would be another place to find pictures for the colors. Sometimes I do that. So I'll get a picture from here and upload it or import it into Inkscape and or into the Canva color palette and use the colors from there. They've got a few like t-shirt ones, like hats. I've seen like people using them, for those things too. So I hope you like those 3 resources. Just to repeat them in case anyone came late, the 3 resources that I like to use for my SVGs are the Canva color palette. So it's just at canva.com/colors/color palette. You can just type in Canva color palette. This is a really quick way to get exact color codes that you want for your images. I like to use the Google fonts. It's Google. Who doesn't like Google? They have everything that you need. They've got tons and tons of fonts for you to download that you can use to make up SVG files. And the last thing was the pictures from Unsplash to make mockups. All of these are free to use. You don't have to pay, like a monthly fee for an account. They do have those options, except for the Google fonts. I don't think there's like a paid version, but Canva has a paid option. If you want to use a paid option, I don't see the need. Unsplash, I think they might have a paid option. Once again, I don't need to use a paid option. I've been using them for years with no problem and no copyright issues. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. I saw Stephanie had a question. I hope I answered. Oh, LaShondra, you're welcome. You didn't know about Unsplash? Yeah, I love them. The pictures are like really high quality because they come from photographers. And there's a variety too. And that's the problem with other stock photo sites I would go to sometimes. Like you wouldn't find a lot of, multicultural, different types of looks. And you can see that on Unsplash. There's a little bit of everybody. It's not just, one type of look. So you can see it's good for that. So let me know. Do you have any questions? Did I go too fast on anything? If you want me to repeat anything, let me move this out of the way. All right, that should be better. Any of these resources you can use in my free SVG course. If you haven't taken that, I put the link in the description. It's the So Simple SVG Quote course where I teach you how to make an SVG quote. It's all free. There are about 5 video tutorials in there. You can click on the link and sign up and go through it. And now you know like little extra things that I didn't have in the course, how you can change colors of your SVG, how you can make a mock-up. Let's say if you want to open up an Etsy shop or sell it on your Shopify or anywhere. So those are options. Stephanie, I will leave this video up. I will, so you can come back, and I will try to send a replay tomorrow. So if you're already on my email list, you'll get the replay in the email that I'll send tomorrow. Hopefully I'll put the right time on it. Not like I did today. It's just I get, some of you might know, I live in France, so I'm 6 hours ahead of the East Coast. So sometimes I'll put a time on something and then I'll look at it and I'm thinking, no, that's not US time. And I try to put everything in US time because, all of you guys are, most of you are in the US. It's like, I would say like 99% of everyone that I talk to is in the US. So I try to put everything on like, standard East Coast time. So that was like my little mistake that I made today. But I corrected it. If you're on my email list, you saw that I sent the email out and right away I was like, oh my goodness, no, I put French time and not US Eastern time. So I will leave the video up and I'll send a replay. So I don't see any other questions. All right. If you have questions later, you can email me. Thank you for the likes. You can also share this video if you want with friends that you know that are interested in making SVGs and maybe they don't know about these shortcuts. Like, these are things that I use every day, so I'm so used to it and I think, oh well, everybody knows that. But no, everybody doesn't know that. And I'm still learning. There's things that, I find that I've been doing this for years and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, I could do that. So if I can, share something with you guys, I'm happy because then you can share that with somebody else and, we all learn and we all grow from that. So if you like this, just go ahead and share it. I think there's a share button in Facebook. Like, I'm not that adept with Facebook. I haven't done that many lives. Share it with a friend who is into SVGs. If you have any questions, you can leave me questions even later on this video. I'll try to come back here and answer them. The best way to contact me is by email or on my website. Let me see if I can get that for you. Yeah, I have a contact page. If you sign up for the course, you can contact me. If you have questions there, you can contact me. So I just want to recap, if I have any like latecomers, the 3 SVG resources that I like to use are the Canva color palette to pull up. Maybe if I move my face out the way, that would help. There we go. The Canva color palette to help you get colors from the exact hex code. So you can import a picture that you like in here. This is just a default picture that they have on here. And then I can click and that copies the hex code. And then I can go into Inkscape and then use that on my SVGs. The second one, I'm not clicking, was Google Fonts. Google has, I don't know, I dare to say like maybe hundreds of different fonts that you can download and use to make your own SVGs. And the third one was Unsplash, where you can find stock photos, which are from professional photographers. So they're beautiful images, like crisp, clear quality. And you can use them for free. So those are my resources. Get back here. I hope you learned something. I hope this was beneficial to you. And if you have any questions, thank you, Debbie. You can rewatch the video. I will leave it up and I will also send you a replay of it tomorrow if you're on my email list. If you're not on my email list, get on it because you're missing out. You're missing out. I send free SVGs every Friday to my list. So that could be fonts, that could be SVG files that I find from different sources around the web and that I want to share with my group. So you can sign up to my email list on my website, which is paperflowdesigns.com. And you'll get like a free SVG, yeah, right away. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will be signing off. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. If everyone likes this, maybe I'll do this more often. If you want, give me some ideas of things that you want to learn with SVGs, and I'll try to make another live tutorial to help you out. All right, good night.